two of these mounted already inside the little rectangles on the grill. I think this is one of the cooler ways to mount it. We're gonna do a little third one. I'm gonna show you guys how I did this to kind of fish it through there. So once you have your LEDs and the 3M tape, the automotive grade tape, placed onto the LED, what you're gonna do next is I kind of devised something. I used some fishing tackle here, and I've got a lead with a fish hook. And basically what you do is you take the fish hook and put it through the tape. And then once you fish it into the hole, you're going to lift the LED to the top so that it sits on the top, and then you pull this piece through and kind of fish the tape out and then drop it straight down once you've got it in place. So before you drop any one of these in there, obviously what you want to do is you want to clean it. You can use the alcohol pads that F150 LEDs gave to, or I'm just using a rag here, and I'm putting alcohol on top of it, and then I take a screwdriver because it's kind of a tight position, so you got to really work it in there. So what I did was I just kind of worked it in there, and I'm using a screwdriver to apply pressure to clean this area out. So what I'm doing is fishing up a corner here, and I take the fish hook, I'm going to punch it through this little red sleeve, and once it goes through like this, you lay it back down, because then you're going to take this piece and you're going to fish it through the back side of the grill, and then you pull it through and it gets out. We've got the line fished through here, so this is going to be our pull through. I'm just going to work this little piece out, and then up top, up here, you can see we're going to work this down in behind as well. I found that it's easier to go one rung down if you're going to put them on the very top, like the way that I'm doing. And then work your light through to the back, like so, making sure that that hook is still in place. As you can see, you can bring it forward like that, and then you're gonna have to kind of mesh your hands. Now if you got a second person, that helps, but what we're gonna do is lift up underneath the bottom and kind of keep up pressure so that the adhesive is not actually touching. And then you grab your hook, pull it across, and that will pull off the adhesive on the bottom. And since it's not touching yet, it should not stick. Get it where you want it to be. Centered is probably the best, and then just let it drop straight down. And once you get it in there, it should be in place, and it's already starting to stick, and I'm just using my fingers on the back to kind of push it flush and push it down. And then I'll use a screwdriver to push down on top of it, across the top, just to hold pressure for about 30 seconds, and that should keep it in place. As you look over here to the right, I've got a little pressure with a screwdriver pushing down on it. I'm just gonna kind of put a little pressure there, and I'll work it up in the front and kind of push this piece up. Don't push too hard, obviously, because it's all made of plastic. And if you do that, you may end up cracking your grill, so you don't want to do that. So I just put a little bit of pressure so it's pushing straight down onto it, and I'll hold it there for about 30 seconds, and that'll help the adhesive kind of connect. Make sure that when you're putting these things in that your temperature stays above 55. The hotter the better, because that way the adhesive is actually going to kind of heat up, and it will help stick a lot better. If it gets cold, the adhesive can kind of get a little brittle and peel away. Now once you've got all your wires connected here, you want to make sure that these things go in all three pieces go into full clicks. If you're doing more than one, I think that they're numbered down here. You'll see that there's the little number 2 right here. All three of these, if you're just doing a 3 light the way that I was, I think they're all number 2, so they should be the same length. But I believe if you go with 4 or 5, they may have different lengths the further that you go down. One other thing I wanted to show you guys was the first thing that I did was I took this panel off just so it would give me a little bit easier access to the grill and work my hands in there. And you can kind of clean your wires up and maybe even hide them underneath this. It's up to you whether you want to do that. If you are going to do it this way though, just keep in mind that there is a shutter system that's connected right here between the radiator and the grill, and that shutter system opens up. So you do want to make sure that you leave room and you're not feeding those wires through the shutter system so that it interferes with any sort of the mechanical. All right, next step is going to be to connect to your power source off your side markers. So we're going to just take a couple bolts off here. Once you get this wheel well exposed, you just kind of fold it back on the tire like they show you in their video. You can see that the blue is going to be your hot line, and then your ground is going to be your black. Instead of going with the quick splices, I've decided to go with what they call T-taps. So I went ahead and bought these on my own, and I'm just going to connect the T-taps into the line here. It just bites into the line like that, closes up, and then you just plug it in. As you guys can see, I'm tapped in here with the T-taps right now on the side marker. Make sure that you grab the right one. It's the one at the very top. Just do a counterclockwise twist, pull it out, you can tap into that one. And then put the lights on. Side marker lights on. And the power feeds to those guys up front.